Research done by an LSU professor shows that the Black community has been hit harder by COVID than their white counterparts. Luke Picard has the story.
Through years of research, Dr. David Stamps has analyzed the disparity between Black and white communities in the state of Louisiana. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, he shifted his focus to see how the inequalities already in place were affected by the greatly changed landscape.
Louisiana mirrored a lot of different states where the impact to Black and brown communities was almost double that of white counterparts. That even though in Louisiana only 32% of the population is African American, 70% of the positive cases and a large number of deaths were attributed to COVID.
While Stamps had already been conducting research on Black and brown communities across the state, the pandemic gave him an opportunity to look into a more specific hardship.
This idea was really kind of pushed forward and championed under the Manship School with, our Dean Martin Johnson, who's no longer with us, as well as Shanae Slocum, who is the director of the Riley Center.
Dr. Nelson Perrett of the Student Health Center says that social status and profession may be the biggest reason why Blacks are more affected.
I think there's several plausible explanations for it. As you know, the best way to keep from getting infected is to social distance, right? Stay at distance. Well, it seems like there's a disproportionate share of the Black community that are frontline workers. And if you're a frontline worker, it reduces your ability to socially distance.
Perrett says that doctors and scientists have yet to figure out why the symptoms of COVID seem to linger with people of color, but standardized measures have been put in place to help protect frontline workers.
Early on in the pandemic, it was not very well done, but I think we've learned. If you go in the grocery store now, you'll see the plexiglass up. You didn't have plexiglass early in the pandemic. So I think you're seeing steps in place to try to protect the frontline workers.
For Stamps, it goes beyond the pandemic. He wants to take the information he's gathered to help the Black community in more ways than just healthcare.
My goal across my research, across my lived experiences, across my day-to-day, is to really try to strive for what does equity and justice look like? What does it mean for everyone to have a seat at the table? What does it mean for everyone to have access to the resources so they can survive and arguably thrive in our society?
Stamps' goal was to educate the Black community to navigate the digital world going into 2021, when the need for online literacy will be greater than ever before. With Tiger TV News, I'm Luke Picard.
Dr. Stamps, the Riley Center, and the Manship School plan to use the information they've found to help decision makers better target their efforts to make equality a better reality for Black people across the state.